Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm very excited about this one. This webinar will be about how to use AI recommendations in your customer experience strategy. I will kick this webinar off by showing you the major successes some brands have achieved by using recommendation systems on their websites. After that, I will dive a little deeper into the more technical part of how recommendation systems actually work. Don't worry about the technical part just yet. Everything will be explained briefly and in an easy way in order for everyone to understand the basics of how these systems work. Once we've gotten up to speed with the basics, I will show you some implementations of how recommendations can boost your sales, applications, conversions, and more in various industries. At the end of this webinar, I have a special gift for everyone. So now think about internet giants like Spotify, Netflix, YouTube, and Amazon for a minute. Even though they all have different products and initially started in different industries before expanding their field of expertise, one thing they all had in common that boosted their spectacular growth is that they were using recommendation systems. This made these companies extremely relevant to their users, increasing customer loyalty and revenues. Did you know that 80% of what people watch on Netflix comes from their recommendation algorithms? Data is the new gold, and I'm betting that you're sitting on a lot of gold yourself. Please start using your data by implementing a recommendation system on your website, and you will see what happens. So let's dive into the beautiful world of possibilities. Like I just said, your visitors bring tons of data with them when visiting your website. Once they accepted your cookies, it's your time to shine and use their data to your advantage. This enables you to start tracking what they are doing on your website and build on your newly mined intelligence. All the data will be analyzed by underlying algorithms that will link relevant profiles to each other to see what works for them and increase their relevance to your visitors. The algorithm will then decide which visitor gets to see what content in the recommendation boxes and will constantly update and analyze itself. Many marketeers might be shaking when thinking about privacy measures and GDPR lawsuits that have been introduced by the EU. So don't worry though, all this tracking and data storage is completely compliant with all GDPR rules and privacy measures that are enforced nowadays. Now, let me explain in very short how the recommendations actually work. Every visitor will get a unique number to their data. You can track what they have been doing on your website, and this data will be linked to similar profiles. Suppose the algorithm notices that number 10 and number 50 are very similar in interest, surfing behavior, or page visits. In that case, it will start to compare them to each other and base its recommendations upon the similarities. This is called the nearest neighbor algorithm. There are a lot of extra algorithms to use in your recommendation system, like last viewed, similar items, as a current item, and there's a lot more. Using recommendations gives you the power to provide some kind of direction to your visitors. Your audience sometimes might not exactly know what they're looking for and might be a little lost on your website. To go back to one of the internet giants, let's look at a specific example from Spotify. There's an enormous amount of new music that gets released weekly, which often makes it hard for members to stay up to date with all the new releases. To battle this and make it easier for the users, Spotify introduced its popular Discover Weekly playlist. This is one of Spotify's most innovative uses of AI and recommendation systems. It updates personal playlists on a weekly basis so that the users won't miss newly released music by artists they like. Being this relevant to their users made them grow from 75 to 100 million active monthly users in spite of competition from rival streaming services like Apple Music. Giving your visitors a sense of orientation benefits your conversion rates and improves the customer experience and engagement with your brands. It even makes you stand out from your competitors. On average, introducing recommendations on your website will result in 10 to 30% higher conversion rates. Imagine you're an office manager looking for a new adventure and you're browsing job websites. You get to see tons and tons and tons and tons of vacancies, but only a few out of there are within your field of interest. However, the problem nowadays is that you'll have to go through all of these irrelevant vacancies before finding the ones that fit your profile. Most websites already have filters nowadays, but these are often defined too broadly and aren't tailored to someone's specific profile. This results in job hunters often getting discouraged or overwhelmed while looking for a job. As I previously mentioned, recommendation boxes will build on your possible applicants' interactions, interests, and conversions and link the data to other similar profiles. This way, the office manager will only get to see jobs within his or her field of interest. Using recommendations on your job site makes it a lot easier for possible applicants. As a recruitment office, you can recommend similar jobs or jobs requiring the same skills that the applicant might not have thought of at the first time. Let's take a closer look at different options of these recommendations throughout various touchpoints across the customer journey. The first way to implement recommendations during your candidate's job search is by showing similar vacancies on the job page your candidate is looking at. This enables you to guide them towards open vacancies that require the same set of skills and might be a more suitable option for your visitor. ASAP is a fast-growing staffing company with over 80 offices in Belgium. As visitors scrolled through their website, many left without applying. ASAP wanted to use recommendation boxes to show visitors the right jobs at the right time. One of the pages where they placed these recommendation boxes is the job page. They added their recommendation jobs throughout various touchpoints across the website, resulting in a 29% increase in applications. Another useful implementation of recommendations in the recruitment industry is implementing them on a search page. If your visitors didn't interact with a specific vacancy, it might be interesting to show similar vacancies on the search page when they decide to continue their search. This once more enables you to show vacancies that might be relevant to your future candidate. Agilitas is a Belgian recruitment expert with more than 30 years of experience in matching the right candidate with the right vacancy. They implemented recommendation at both the top and the bottom of their search page to make it easier for applicants to find relevant jobs before having to go to the next search page. This results, on average, in 7% of all visitors interacting with one of the recommended jobs, and 22% of the ones that interacted with the recommended job applying to one of them. Now, what if your visitors doesn't feel like browsing your website again and decides to leave without converting or without applying to one of your open vacancies? This might feel like a loss you're going to take, but none of us likes losing, right? One more way to implement recommendations in order to keep your visitors engaged is by implementing them in a pop-up that detects exit intent. This pop-up will reveal itself at the time your visitor is giving a signal of leaving your website and will try to convince them to stay a little longer by showing them relevant open vacancies they might not have noticed before. Start People is a recruitment company that is part of RGF Staffing and uses this strategy to keep visitors engaged on their website. Using these pop-ups increases the people that look at other vacancies by 10% and 46% of them applying to one of the recommended vacancies. As you can see, recommendations on recruitment websites bring a lot of opportunities to keep your visitors engaged and get them closer to a conversion. An off-website recommendation tool that is definitely worth mentioning as well is a job alert. A job alert are emails that your visitors can subscribe to in order to receive updates on relevant vacancies for their profile. The email they receive will contain recommendations just like your website. The only difference here is that your visitors have to actively subscribe and leave their email address to receive these recommendations. Absolute Jobs is a Belgian recruitment company that does this very well. They offer their visitors to subscribe to their job alerts throughout various touchpoints across the website and send them relevant jobs later in their mailboxes. These targeted job alerts on average have a 70% click-through rate, and of which 20% of them will end up converting. Another valuable implementation of recommendations comes straight after your audience has completed the conversion. You can recommend something like a blog article, how-to page, or anything that enhances their conversion right after it has taken place. A useful example of this in e-commerce could be recommending blog articles that redirect customers to a user manual or best practices page for a specific product. In other industries, it could be an article about how to nail a job interview. This keeps your audience engaged in between their conversion and the actual moment they will use the product or service. Recommendations can be used to capture information as well. Add a recommendation box inside another recommendation box on your landing page to increase conversions. A great real-life example of this is the implementation of recommendation boxes on media websites. Recommending relevant articles on the landing page and including a free subscription box in it doesn't feel as invasive as straight up getting asked to subscribe. This way, possible leads might be more tempted to leave some kind of information. As you can see by now, recommendations have a huge range of possibilities for every industry. Are you ready to get creative with them and boost your conversions while improving your customer experience at the same time? Euroconsumers is a European consumer organization that distributes magazines in Belgium, Italy, Portugal, and Spain. They have recommendations spread all over their website, and they have different journeys for customers in different stages of the funnel. Their first recommendations will be to convince people to start their free trial. They will show a free trial offer between other relevant articles, so people will see it when browsing their articles. This feels less invasive than launching a pop-up, for example, that tries to push them towards a trial. Once they have done this, they will receive recommendation boxes that remind them of their free trial and tries to convince them to get a paid subscription. One way to use recommendations is by implementing them on your checkout page. This gives you the option to cross-sell some of your other products to customers that might not have previously noticed it. Be mindful of what you recommend though, because it should be something that enhances the initial purchase and fits well with that product. Let's say when you're a web shop that sells sports articles. When your customer adds boxing gloves to his basket, he might also be interested in bandages, glove cleaning spray, or teeth protection. Recommending these items adds value to the customer's initial purchase and his customer journey. On the other hand, customer ballet shoes or swimming bands have nothing to do with the original purchase and don't add any value to the sale. Recommendations can come in as a handy tool on your checkout page to make your audience eligible for free shipping as well. Recommend small items that fit the initial purchase and get them to buy an extra item to get free shipping. These recommendation boxes can vary in price, range, to fit the missing value for free shipping. Perry Sports is a sports retail chain that is part of JD Sports and has 41 branches in the Netherlands. One of the implementations they introduced to improving their checkout pages is adding recommendation boxes in the shopping cart overview. This enables them to show their customers relevant products that match their initial purchase and even enhance it. Launching cross-sell in their checkout page resulted in 41% of the customers that clicked on the recommended items actually buying them. As you can see, it's an easy implementation that brings a lot of extra revenue to your brand. We're almost at the end of the webinar. However, there are 4 important lessons to keep in mind. First of all, recommending the right content will grow your business like never before. Make sure your recommendations match the initial purpose of your visitors. The third lesson is that recommendations are useful in a variety of industries. And last but not least, personalizing your online customer experience is vital for every business and is what makes you stand out from your competition. So now a bit more about TechLayer. We create a better customer experience for everyone by making the experience unique for every visitor. We do this across different channels, so the website, email, push notifications, social channels, and even WhatsApp. We make it very easy to start, so we have a 2-hour setup. There's no code necessary to start, and our clients see a nice return on investment. We work for marketeers across different industries, like the recruitment industry, media, real estate, e-commerce, automotive, and so on. Last but not least, I promised you that I had a special gift for you. That special gift is a free customer experience analysis. So if you think after this webinar that you want to work on your recommendation strategy, you can always reach out to me. Also, make sure to keep an eye on my LinkedIn profile because I will give the next webinar in a week. I hope you enjoyed the webinar and I will see you soon. Bye.